Mitch Buchanan.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
All right, thank you. We have had minutes provided to us by the staff. If there aren't any changes, would someone like to make a motion?
Mr. Chair, I do have one recommended change on that first page down there where it starts at second paragraph from the bottom. It says about the 1% annual. I think that's supposed to say chance flood and not change flood, because I saw a reference to that later in the minutes, and it does say chance there.
Okay.
And we'll let the record show that Ms. Townsley has come in, and she is part of the meeting.
And thank you. And I do not have COVID. I've tested, but I have a cold, and I want to share it with any of you.
That's all right. I hope you feel better.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, at this time, before we get started with the agenda, if anyone's going to testify, would you please raise your right hand and I'll swear you in. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
We didn't actually.
Oh, we didn't, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
We didn't approve the minutes. We did a change. All right, so we had our change to the minutes from last month. Would anyone like to make a motion?
So moved.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. All right, now we can move on. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Forgot. John, when you're ready.
In accordance with sections 155.232 and 155.085 of the Franklin County Code of Ordinances, Brian C. Hicks, on behalf of Benson Valley Distributors, LLC, is requesting an appeal to change one nonconforming use, single-family dwelling, to another, short-term rental, as well as a waiver of occupancy rate for the short-term rental at 1501 Benson Valley Road. The property is more specifically described as PVA map number 071-00-000-009.01, and it's a general industrial zone.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the board. The applicant is withdrawing the waiver for this application. We do consider an additional space that they could use it for a bedroom, so they can have 14 occupants with the number of bedrooms that they do have. So they are withdrawing that waiver. So moving on to the approval of a lesser nonconforming use. Under subsection 155.232, the previous nonconforming use is of a residential dwelling, is not permitted in the IG zone. The proposed use, short-term rental, is considered less nonconforming because of the transient occupancy, fewer daily impacts than a full-time resident, compatible with adjacent industrial use, such as a distillery, non-structural changes, which maintains that historical footprint. So the structure is an historic residential building. It is zoned as the general industrial district, originally part of the Kennebec distillery in the 1930s. The residential use has been continuous since construction. The property was subdivided in 1981. The current owner bought the property in 2020 and has renovated the property, and he's here today to propose a short-term rental use of that particular residential structure. So the applicable regulations, 155.232, changes to other uses. The short-term rental does align with less non-conforming use criteria. The lower intensity than the permanent residential use in industrial context. There's minimal impact on surrounding industrial properties. The historic preservation is maintained. There is adequate off-street parking, which is provided, which would be 2 spaces with a residential dwelling. Residential use temporarily ceased during renovations in 2020, but it did not permanently discontinue it. So the additional findings, short-term rental use preserves character of the property and complements industrial surroundings. It will not alter the essential character of area or create hazard or nuisance. And like I said, the parking is adequate. Staff recommends approval for lesser non-conforming use with the conditions, with the following conditions. The change in use is only permitted at 1501 Benson Valley Road. The short-term rental is registered with the county annually and a business license obtained. A safety inspection of the premise shall be performed before the commencing of operations. The residents must have working smoke alarms that are not more than 10 years old from date of manufacture. The residents must have working carbon monoxide alarms that are not more than 10 years old from the date of manufacture if the residence has gas utilities of any kind. Number 6, occupancy of the short-term rental shall be limited to no more than 14 individuals. Number 7, if the operation cease, then notice shall be provided to County Planning and Building Codes Office for their records. All conditions of subsection 155.089, notice special conditions 27, short-term rental shall be satisfied. Number 9, the short-term rental shall be operated in accordance with the submitted application materials, including the submitted operations and management narrative. I would like to submit my report to the record and open for any questions at this
Any
time.
questions for Ms. Pack?
Go back to number 6, limited to no more than, you said 14 persons.
That's correct. My original report, I said 12, and that's because I thought we were doing a waiver tonight, which I would be denying that. However, it's come to my attention today that one room does have a partitioned wall, which could accommodate another additional bedroom. It does have egress and ingress, and that does satisfy our safety inspection of a short-term rental. So that did give them an additional bedroom, which would make that 14 occupants. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Not seeing any. We'll let you sit, and we'll
Thank
let
you.
the applicant or the representative come up if they'd like to. Let you give your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Chair, Board. My name is Brian Hicks with McNamara and Jones on behalf of Benson Valley Distributors, the applicant. We agree in total with staff's report and have no new additions or comments. Here to answer any questions.
Any questions of Mr. Hicks? All right. Not hearing it, it's a pretty easy night.
Yes, sir. I like it like that.
Yeah, we'll let you sit. All right. Do we have anyone in the audience who would like to speak on behalf of this application? Not seeing any, we'll go ahead and we can have some discussion, but I think we have all positive findings. If someone would like to make a motion for or against?
Sure, I'll be glad to make the motion on that, if there is no discussion. In accordance with sections 155.232 and 155.085 of Franklin County Code ordinances, I move that we approve this request from Brian Hicks on behalf of Benson Valley Distributors LLC to approve the appeal to change one non-conforming use of a single family dwelling to another use, short-term rental, and which would be less non-conforming. Property more specifically described as PVA map ID 071-00-00-09.01. And actually, as with all of the staff report, positive findings and the conditions as agreed upon by the applicant and as read by staff.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a second from Mr. King. You call the roll, please.
Ms. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Holder?
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes.
Mr. Richardson?
Yes.
Ms. Townsley?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you all. Good luck. Would you call the next item, please?
In accordance with sections 155.047 and 155.049 of the Franklin County Code of Ordinances, Noel Oliveras is requesting approval of a variance of section 155.136D to reduce the front yard setback from 35 feet to 27 feet for the property located at 10203 Owenton Road. The property is more specifically described as PVA map number 070-4001-001.00, and this is a rural residential district.
Mr. Jude, if you would, please.
Good evening, Board. As Don stated, this is a variance request to reduce the front yard setback from 35 feet to 27 feet. A little background on the subject property. There was a house on the property that burned down in 2016, after which a manufactured home was put on site administratively because staff determined that it was the setback in that case was lesser non-conforming than what the house had previously been. That house has since been removed from the property, and based upon our non-conforming regulations in 155.233, that use has ceased for more than 6 months. So anything new must come into conformity. Strict application of the setback would only allow for approximately 10 feet wide strip for a house, which is rather constrictive. So hence the need for the variance in order to allow any structure of any reasonable size to be put on this particular site. Based upon the applicant's site plan, the reduction is requested to be applied to the Herman Smithers side of the frontage, not the Owenton Road side. So it'll still be kind of set far enough or adequately enough off of that side. So it's really only one reduction of the setback, not two. Based upon the staff report, we have all positive findings. As I mentioned, the approximate width of the lot where the house will be set is 80 feet. Once you apply the 235-foot setbacks, it leaves 10 feet for the house. We are recommending approval. We did have some conditions in there regarding the health department. They needed to do an existing system inspection, which I received paperwork on that today. I have copies available if you would like them. But the health department has indicated that the system is functioning properly. So we can still keep that condition in there. And the second one is that all necessary permits and approvals shall be obtained prior to the installation of the home. So regardless of if this is approved tonight, they'll still need to get a manufactured home permit prior to installing the home on site. And with that, I'd like to enter my report into the record, and I'll be happy to take questions.
Any questions for Mr. Judy? Not seeing, we'll let you sit down.
Thank you.
We have the applicant here. If you've got all positive findings in your report, if you want to add anything, you certainly can come up and speak. I guess you want to add the only thing, was, do they agree? Yeah.
Do you have the conditions? I don't have them in my packet.
Uh,
I need a copy.
If you would, well, we'll just ask you from there. Do you agree with the two conditions in the staff report?
Can we didn't quite understand
Here you go.
Right,
Maybe I
okay.
have it. I'm sorry.
So the two conditions read into the staff report, that the health department must approve the waste system, which they've said that it does, and that you all will get all necessary permits. And you'll agree
I'm
to that.
sorry.
It's kind of hidden.
We do, okay, all right. So that's really the main thing we wanted to find out. Unless you have anything to add, you don't have to come up. Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak on behalf of this request? Not seeing any, we'll go ahead and have discussion, or go ahead and have a motion. If anyone would like to make a motion. Iris, did you get what you needed?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. I just didn't see it. It was,
Okay. Do you want?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll make a motion.
all right, thank you.
Mr. Chair, in accordance with sections 155.047 and 155.049 of the Franklin County Code of Ordinances. Noah Olivares is requesting approval of a variance section. I recommend approval to reduce the front setback from 35 feet to 27 feet for property located at 10203 Owington Road. The property more specifically is described in Property Evaluation Administrator Map Item Number 07040010001.00. Based on the staff report of all positive findings, we recommend approval and including the conditions that were set by staff that have already been read into the record.
All right. Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
We have a second. No, any discussion? No discussion. Let you read after the roll when you're ready.
Ms. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Holder?
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes.
Mr. Richardson?
Yes.
Ms. Townsley?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. You have your approval. When you're ready, we'll let you read the next item on the agenda.
In accordance with sections 155.008 of the Franklin County Code of Ordinances, Bill Fowler is requesting approval of a waiver to section 155.331, table of required parking, to waive the parking requirements for the property at 1425 Leestown Road. The property is more specifically ID'd as PVA map number 095000063.01, and this is a general industrial zone.
Mr. Judy?
So this request is based upon an addition to an existing warehouse. It's an approximately 30,000 square foot addition to a 150,000 square foot warehouse. Based upon 30,000 square foot addition, or 30, I think it's, let me get my numbers right. It's 30,228 square feet addition. It would require, based upon the one space per 1,000 gross square feet as stated in the parking table, would result in the need for 31 spaces to be required. Based upon discussions with the applicant, the end user of this facility is the state, and they've indicated that they are only going to need 3 additional employees to staff this addition, and they're proposing 5 additional spaces. Given the space constraints on site due to the basin, staff is in support of this request based upon those space constraints and the concern that additional pervious parking based upon the pervious space from the parking would generate additional runoff that we don't really want to see in this area because it's in close proximity to Slickway Branch. There's a lot of development pressure on that stream, and anything we can do to mitigate runoff to go to that site is a positive in our view. So less parking is less pervious. We view it as a positive thing, and therefore we are in support of this request. I do have positive findings, and I'm recommending approval, and I'll be happy to take questions.
Any questions for Mr. Judah? Sandy, we'll let you sit down.
Thank you.
There's no conditions, right?
There's no conditions on this one, that's
Thank you.
correct. Mhm.
Okay. Our applicant, if you want to come up, if you have anything to add, is our applicant here? May not be. Okay.
Over here.
All right. There are no, like you said, there's no conditions, so we've got positive findings. If you want to add anything, you can come up. If you don't have to. It's fine. Do we have any questions of our applicant? We don't, so we'll let you sit there. It's been sort of an easy night for these items. Okay, so we have, do we have anyone else in the audience who wants to speak on behalf of this? Don't see any, so we'll go ahead and if someone would like to make a motion.
Sure, I'll go ahead and take a stab at it. I move that we approve the waiver of section 155.331 in accordance with the sections of 155.008 of Franklin County Code of Ordinances for Mr. Bill Fowler to approve this waiver. And this is a table of required parking to waive the parking requirements for the property at 1425 Leestown Road. And the property is more specifically described as PVA Administrator Map ID 095-00-00-063.01, and with the all positive findings in the staff report.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Call the roll, please.
Ms. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Holder?
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes.
Mr. Richardson?
Yes.
Ms. Townsend?
Yes.
Motion carries.
You have your approval. Thank you. Would you like to call the next item of your?
In
Ready.
accordance with section 155.048, 155.085, 155.089, and 155.0105 of the Franklin County Code of Ordinances, Michael Tablang is requesting approval of a conditional use permit to allow the operation of a short-term rental at 103 Peaks Mill Road. The property is more specifically described as PVA map number 073-00-00028.03, and the zone is agricultural.
Yes, the subject property is located on Peaks Mill Road, just outside the city limits. The lot is approximately 2.85 acres in size and contains a 5,740 square foot single-family dwelling with 5 bedrooms. However, the applicant is requesting a 6th bedroom contingent upon inspection. Adjoining and nearby land uses and zoning categories include Peaks Mill Elementary School, which is directly across the street. It is a special government SG district, and AG agricultural districts to the north, west, and east, primarily containing single-family uses. The surrounding neighborhood also includes rural residential and agricultural, as well as the rural residential B district. The applicant plans to list the property on platforms such as Airbnb and Vrbo. According to GIS data and FEMA MSC, the subject property is not located within the special flood hazard area. This will be the applicant's 2nd short-term rental in Franklin County. He did receive approval to operate at 210 Fairway Drive in January 14th of 2025. Following that approval, the applicant decided to construct an additional bedroom and received approval from the board to increase the occupancy at their June 10th, 2025 meeting. That short-term rental is currently operational, and staff has not received any complaints related to that use. Staff discovered all positive findings for this application. We also have 2 additional findings. In addition to the findings, staff also finds that the proposed conditional use will not alter the essential character or the general vicinity, nor cause a hazard or a nuisance to the public. The proposed 6-bedroom dwelling will be large enough to accommodate the allowable number of users to 16, and adequate parking will be available. All necessary public services and facilities are or will be available. The proposed conditional use should not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, provided that the recommended conditions are met. Staff does recommend approval of the applicant's request with the following conditions. The conditional use is only permitted at 103 Peaks Mill Road. The conditional use is granted only to Michael Tablang to allow the use of the property for a short-term rental. The conditional use is not transferable, and any change in ownership will make this approval null and void. The short-term rental is registered with the county annually and a business license obtained. A safety inspection of the premise shall be performed before the issuance of a conditional use permit and commencing of operations. Number 6, the residents must have working smoke alarms that are not more than 10 years old from date of manufacture. The residents must have working carbon monoxide alarms that are not more than 10 years old from the date of manufacture, if the residence has gas utilities of any kind. Number 8, occupancy of the short-term rental shall be limited to no more than 14 unless the sixth bedroom is constructed, in which case the occupancy shall be limited to no more than 16 individuals. If the operation cease, the notice shall be provided to County Planning and Building Codes Office for their records. Number 10, all conditions of subsection 155.089 noted special conditions 27 short-term rentals shall be satisfied. If an additional bedroom is added on in the future to increase occupancy to 16 guests, then another safety inspection shall be performed. Number 12, the short-term rental shall be operated in accordance with the submitted application materials, including the submitted operations and management narrative. Number 13, if the conditional use permit has not been exercised within 1 year of the board's action, it shall be null and void. And number 14, all necessary permits and approvals shall be attained, including a building permit, all approval of the septic system prior to construction, and occupancy of the proposed sixth bedroom. I would like to submit my report into the record and open for any questions.
Any questions, Ms. Peck?
Can I get a copy of page 2 when you're done? It wasn't in my, oh, never mind. Got it.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes.
I have a quick
Oh, that's-
question for you. This is an existing
That's
operation right now. Do you know if a sixth bedroom will require an additional lateral line or something for the septic system? Has that been,
I would have to see
I don't know that it was
what the
discussed.
TRT said.
So,
Let me go back. So, John Cambron did say, he's from the Frankfort County Health Department,
Right, right.
that he spoke to the property owner and told him the requirements of the septic system, and he will need to provide us with the number of bedrooms he is proposing to advertise, as well as have a permit pull to revise the septic to meet those needs. So he would have to get some type of,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay. Some type of at least test on it.
that's correct,
We just don't
yes.
want to cause a problem in the area.
That's right,
Right. Okay.
absolutely, yes.
I have a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
Could you address the parking, since this is, I can see the map, it's across the road from the school, that
Sure,
is there
so,
plenty of parking on the property?
so according to our regulations, a single-family dwelling only needs 2 parking spaces, according to our regulations. But in my opinion, I believe they do have enough parking.
For 14 people, 16 people?
Yes, because the lot size is 2.85 acres in size.
And
yes.
also, I guess I'm not completely comfortable approving a bedroom that's not constructed and allowing 16 people based on a bedroom that hasn't been constructed, even though there's a condition here that you've dealt with it in the condition, but I don't see why we wouldn't make them just come back and ask for
Yes, I see what
a
you're saying.
change. I don't, do y'all think that's a problem? I mean, maybe we should talk about it when we're
We'll
finished.
just do a discussion, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
And we
welcome.
can talk with the applicant's representative too.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Good. Any other questions? Okay, we'll let you sit down.
Thank you.
If the applicant or the representative would come up and give us your name and address for the record, and we'll probably have a couple of questions for you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Liz Davis. I live at 11704 River Beauty Loop, Prospect, Kentucky, and I am the real estate agent and representative for the applicant.
Okay. We have a couple, if you want to go ahead and ask.
I
a
have,
couple
my
questions.
first question is, do you have some sort of limited power of attorney to bind the applicant for these conditions that we're going to impose on this if we approve it?
We have not signed a limited power of attorney for this.
So I don't feel comfortable with that as well. I think we need to have, when we have somebody who's going to agree to conditions, they need to have some sort of limited power of attorney or attorney-in-fact or something that binds them, that binds the applicant to this person's saying that they will agree to these conditions.
Why don't we
And
ask Mr. Logan?
But I would like for
Yeah.
Ed Logan to.
I absolutely agree with Iris. We used to do an affidavit when someone came in,
Okay.
if they were not the attorney representing them, or they were not an owner, or they were not a stockholder, if there was something that would bind the company. And I don't mean to be disparaging, but a real estate agent has a contract, but unless they've got an affidavit that says you can bind me to these conditions, the owner can basically say, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then that leaves us going to the realtor to try to enforce it. I don't think she wants to be in that position either.
I have a question for you from a administrative
Yeah.
standpoint. If, and that's a valid, point, if we decide to do an approval on the condition that we get that affidavit, and then it would be enforced, is that something that you're comfortable with as the
Certainly, if you
attorney?
make that a condition of approval.
Okay. I think
She
that-
could provide, have the owner provide it,
Yeah.
and we're fine.
And that way they don't have to come back again. if-
Actually, the owner could provide an affidavit himself saying, I have read the conditions and I abide by those and submit in the
Right.
record, and she wouldn't need to do it at all.
Right, right. But that's not the case tonight, so. And that's something in the future, perhaps staff can let the
We
applicants.
talked about it earlier, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Then did you have another concern? I think you were talking about parking also.
Well, the bedroom issue. I don't understand why you're asking for 16 when we don't have that many bedrooms.
I think he was asking for it to be contingent upon inspection. If he decides to add it, then he'd like approval or it added on. But of course, if you all want him to come back and resubmit to get that approved, that's up to your discretion.
Question for Mr. Logan. In our findings, if we modify our recommendation that we're only doing 14 until and except, and it's sort of in here already, if another bedroom is constructed and inspected and all other conditions are met, are you comfortable with that, or should we basically make the applicant come back to protect?
I'm not comfortable because we advertised this 14.
Okay,
And we've looked at it for that. I don't think that, just at the hearing, boosting it another 2, irrespective of the commitment, is appropriate.
okay.
No, we didn't advertise it based on 14.
Would you
That was part
advertise?
of the original request, was that they
16?
have 16, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I retract that. I thought she said in her report, she had 14, it would be moved contingent upon the approval.
That's in order to allow him to operate for now. In the meantime, if he were to operate with the 4.
Well, he can still
bedrooms. And then-
operate with, if we keep it at 14, he can still operate now
Correct.
if he does here, so.
And then if he adds the bedroom,
Yeah.
we included conditions that allow for him to do that without having to return to the board.
I understand.
Which is typical, in my opinion, for conditional uses. We see conditional uses all the time that are completely unconstructed, and someone is coming and asking for a conditional use permit. So I think waiting for that bedroom to be constructed is not necessarily necessary.
Okay.
But that's a specific,
But of course, it is up to the board.
seems to me this is a specific regulation regarding the number of bedrooms you have and the number of occupants you can have based on that. That's how I see it.
Another question for Mr. Logan. The board can alter our recommendations to 14, and then if the applicant does do the construction of this last bedroom, they can simply come back. It may be inconvenient, but they can now operate if, with the approval of 14. It sounds like there's some concerns here, and I would
Yeah,
assume
certainly
that's.
You can do that either way. You can approve the 14. You can also make it contingent upon meeting all the applications for the other 2, if the board so chooses.
Okay.
I just think that in the past, we have done a lot of things that we've allowed on a contingency, and you have some authority for doing that if you wish.
Okay. I guess in a sense, if we're comfortable with that or not, we'll do it during discussion.
I defer to our council.
Okay. All right. Parking, did you want to bring that up again?
I can speak
I
to,
believe that the staff thought there was an adequate space in the 2 acres.
My question is, and I don't know if, you know the property since you're a real estate person, is it gravel, is it concrete, is it,
It's
we're talking
paved.
probably 8 cars?
it's a very long driveway. There's
Okay.
2 garages up front, and then you drive around to the back.
Oh,
There's
okay.
2 additional garages at the back. There's also like a barn structure.
Okay.
That's technically a 6-car garage size, but there's tons of
Okay,
driveway
so we're-
space.
We're covered on the parking, all
Yeah.
right. All right, good.
Okay.
Any
Any
other?
other questions?
No,
Questions?
thank you.
Okay.
All right. I think that's all we have. If you'd like to sit. There's no one else in the audience to ask anything. So, for discussion's sake, how how does the board feel? Do we feel comfortable with the way the staff report's written with the contingencies for the 6-bedroom? Or do we have more than one person that's concerned about it? Because we have the ability to reduce it to 14 or allow the 16. Our attorney has told us we can do either way. What's your all's, we'll just poll everybody. How about you? Do you feel comfortable with it?
It'd be, I mean, how big of an addition would it be? I mean, is
Well,
this
it
It's in the
affects
basement.
it
Just
affects
that's strictly
the
it?
occupancy and then the septic system, but we've got it covered. My take is we've got it covered with the contingencies, but I want to hear, if we've got more than one or two people really concerned, we can reduce it to the 14. I'm just trying to get an idea.
I think 14's a lot of people. I don't know that we need to, I mean, I probably will vote no.
Okay.
But you all, I mean, certainly I defer to, and I agree that we can do it that way. It's just putting a contingency on a contingency that he also gives us an affidavit that he
Right.
is going to agree to these things. I
Right.
think that's a lot of contingencies and really could be done more
Okay.
tightly, maybe.
Any other feelings in either way?
I don't have a problem with the contingency.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I do think it is important, though, we cover all the legal bases, like Mr. Logan said, with the affidavit and all that. Make sure we've got that covered in those conditions.
Okay. I feel comfortable with the affidavit being part of conditions, and I also feel comfortable with, it's covered in here, the additional 2 people with the contingencies. So,
Well, maybe staff could let people know in the future that they need to be here.
Right.
Or they need to have some paper.
Right. I think we've made that
I
request
appreciate
too.
that.
Yeah, and I appreciate your concern.
Thank you.
Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion? I can. I will. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion for approval for the request by Michael Tablang and Christine Ewell for the request to approve a conditional use permit to allow the operation of short-term rental at 103 Peaks Mill Road, more specifically prescribed as property valuation administration map ID 073000028.03. Based upon the positive findings of facts and testimony from the staff, as well as some further information provided by the Realtor, Ms. Davis, with the following conditions, where is it?
Didn't have it.
Here, that's the page we didn't have.
That's it? Yeah.
All right, thank you. Recommend approval based upon the following conditions. Number 1, the conditional use is only permitted to 103 Peaks Mill Road. Number 2, the conditional use is granted only to Michael Tablang to allow for the use of the property as a short-term rental. The conditional use is not transferable, and any change in ownership will make this approval null and void. Number 4, the short-term rental is registered with the county annually, and a business license is obtained. Number 5, a safety inspection of the premise shall be performed before the issuance of the conditional use permit and commencing of operation. Number 6, the residents must have working smoke alarms that are no more than 10 years old from the date of manufacture. Number 7, the residents must have working carbon monoxide alarms that are no more than 10 years old from the date of manufacture if the residence has gas utilities of any kind. Occupancy of the short-term rental shall be limited to no more than 14 unless a 6th bedroom is constructed, in which case the occupancy shall be limited to no more than 16 individuals. If the operation ceased, the notice shall be provided to County Planning and Building Codes Office for their records. All conditions of subsection 155.089 noted special conditions, 27 short-term rentals shall be satisfied. If an additional, number 11, if an additional bedroom is added on in the future to increase occupancy to 16 guests, then another safety inspection shall be performed. Number 12, the short-term rental shall be operated in accordance with the submitted application materials, including the submitted operations and management narrative. Number 13, if the conditional use permit has not been exercised within 1 year of the board's actions, it shall be null and void. Number 14, all necessary permits and approvals shall be obtained, including a building permit, all approval of the septic system prior to construction and occupancy of the proposed 6-bedroom. And number 15, we would like the applicant to submit an affidavit stating that they agree with all conditions before this approval or request for conditional use shall be approved. So those are the 15 conditions I have read. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, do we have any discussion? Maybe we already have that. All right, if you would, please, call the roll.
Ms. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Holder?
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes.
Mr. Richardson?
Yes.
And Ms. Townsley?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, you've got your approval. If you would let the applicant know they need that affidavit. We appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for your patience. I don't believe we have any other business, so, and we do have a meeting, December, I got it on my phone.
16th, yeah.
Okay, all
What
right, so
day?
everybody's.
16th,
16?
16th.
So we're not having the first one, it's just one meeting?
Are we having the,
is that right?
Ju-
Only
just the
one, or are there two in December?
There's only one.
Only one, on the 16th.
There's typically not a December
Right.
meeting
That's right,
for the Board
yeah.
of Zoning Adjustments, but since we did have several requests for an application, we asked that you all consider having a special meeting.
Right.
And it seemed like the 16th worked, so we called a special meeting for the 16th.
sounds like most everybody's already agreed they can be here, so. All right, a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
One second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
I apologize for being late, sorry.